I'm boycotting the drug dealer by saying I'm gonna buy less crack from you. Why are you smoking crack anyway? Right? Why are you taking crack in your body when you could be taking vegetables in your body? Right? So why are you so interested in giving money to Target when there are thousands of black-owned businesses that are crumbling right beneath your feet? Right? Like what how does that translate into the support of black businesses so that a Target boycott in the next generation is ineffective and unnecessary because we're not even giving Target all of our money and all of our attention just because they have a DEI program that helps a few elite black people get their products in the Target stores, but doesn't really have a systematic impact on the economic development of the black community. The ability to build and own institutions is probably the greatest, most direct source of economic power that exists in America. You have to have that ability to manifest something that is your own, or you'll just constantly be sort of begging people to let you in their door. And I don't think that I don't think integration into white-owned institutions has been a winning strategy for black people. At the very least, if you want to do integration, the best, you know what the best form of integration is that I've seen most effective? It's owning shares of stock. When you're a stockholder, nobody, I've never, I bought shares of stock in hundreds of companies. Never once has anybody ever checked to see if I was black before I could be an owner. Like no one ever, And when Nvidia is releasing, doing stock buybacks or my Coca-Cola, stock is giving me dividends, they don't say, well, we're going to give dividends only to the white people. They give the dividends to everybody. And so, in my view, that's a type of integration that really works because that's an integration that's built more so on partnership than on subordination. Integration should not be subordination. So if you are sitting with your best friend and your best friend says, hey, why don't you come work for me? That's okay, but you better really trust that friend because what typically will happen is if somebody says you come work for me, that means I'm the boss. You're the employee. You're the subordinate. Sometimes that can be okay if you have a good boss and a respectful boss who cares about you, likes you, and preserves your dignity. But what if your boss is somebody who hates you? What if it's your enemy across town? What if it's the person that wants to sleep with your wife or sleep with your husband? What if it's the person that wants to take what you've got? And that same person calls up and says, hey, why don't you come work for me? You'd be a damn fool to say yes. Am I right or am I right? Tell me if you follow what I'm saying. And I want you to ask yourself, as black people, who's been the greatest enemy of black people? Who's been the greatest oppressor of black people? Who's been the one that's never wanted our best interest at, had our best interest at heart? We know who that is. And so the question to ask is, what is it in you that made you feel that you were supposed to train and breed your children specifically so they could integrate and become subordinate to the people that hate you the most, that have mistreated you, that have treated you the worst? Right? This is logical to me, right? So at the very least, if I gotta sit next to somebody who doesn't have my best interest at heart, I need it to be a partnership. I don't need it to be subordination. And even then, I need the partnership to be clear with clear rules. I don't want to depend on your goodwill for me to be able to win and succeed. The stock market is pretty fair. The more shares of stock I buy, the more money I make, right? And that's it. My family made probably about $100,000 from owning Nvidia stock because I bought the shares that I own, and no one has ever come to me and tried to take that away from us. Do you understand? So you've got to be an investor if you want to build wealth in America. You've got to own assets if you want to have power. You've got to sort of be part of the infrastructure of an institution in order for you to dictate how it's going to move.